And hello friends, welcome to another video. This is MiamiCOIndiana. Today doing a video by request. One of my viewers, her name is Kathy, asked me to do a video on where to get one of the watt meters and how to use one. So I'll explain both of that today. The good news is these watt meters are down in price pretty good now. You can purchase them at any big box store. You can get them at any hardware store. Also online, eBay and Amazon both carry the kilowatt meters. Just type in watt meter in the search bar on eBay or Amazon and it will pull several of these up. Price range for these right now, about $10 to $15. This is December 2022. I always want to put that in because we know how prices are changing now, but they're not very expensive. Do not pay more than $20 for one. I have seen them actually in hardware stores around $25. It's too much. You can get them online $10 to $15. So that's the price on it, but why should you have one? Because it really can save you money. You can find out in your home what's using a lot of power. If you find something that's using a lot of wattage and power, you might want to use it less often because that will save you money each month. So I'm going to give you that example today. I got a product I use. This is my Hunter HEPA air purifier that I run 24/7. So it's on all the time. It's off right now, but that's unusual because it's usually always running. I put it in the bedroom where my cat is a lot to keep the dander and the cat fur down. It has a 3-stage filter, HEPA, and charcoal also to remove odors. It works really well. But since I run it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all month long, how much does that cost to run it all month? Well, with our watt meter, we can actually figure that out. So I'm going to walk you through that today. So if you get a watt meter, you can do the exact same thing to figure out what is costing you in your home and maybe raising your electric bill quite a bit that you might want to cut down on some things. So anyway, let's find out how much this uses. I run this unit 24/7, but I always run it on the low speed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it on where I normally keep it on the low fan speed, and we'll look at our watt meter and it's going to come on and tell us how many watts it uses. So you want to let it run for a little bit. Things usually surge a little bit higher when you turn them on, and then it starts stabilizing to what it actually uses. So as you see, we're just under 17 watts, 16.7. And that's running the Hunter air filter purifier on low speed, and that's where I keep it. But again, I run it all month long, every hour, every day. So how are we going to figure out how much that's costing to run for an entire month? Here's how you can do it. You want to get a copy of your electric bill, and you only need two things. So I have my last electric bill I just got in from last month, November, and there's two things we're looking for. We're looking for, number one, how much money did I pay for electricity? I do have to block some of the things out because it has personal information, but you can see that top line there, the electricity amount, $98.16, right there. So that's how much I paid for my electricity. Now the second thing we need is how many kilowatts were I charged for? And that's going to be somewhere else on the bill, your meter information. Electric is the top line, and you can see right there, I used 884 kilowatts. That was my total usage for electricity for the month of November. So that's all you need on that to figure out how much you're paying per kilowatt. So the amount of money you paid and how many kilowatts you used. The next step is, I wrote it down here, so I know I used 884 kilowatts because I read it off the bill. I paid $98.16 for my electric rate. I times it times 107% because electricity in most places is taxable. So find out if you are taxed on electricity. If so, how much? It's 7% in Indiana. So I had to take it times 107% to get my total, including tax. So that's the real amount I pay, $105.03 last month with electricity, with tax included. Simply take that amount. I paid $105.03, divide it by how many kilowatts I was charged for, and that'll give me my rate per kilowatt use. The rate is 0.1188 cents. For all practical purposes, I just rounded up to 12 cents, which means in my area they're charging approximately 12 cents for every kilowatt of electricity you use. That's how an electric company charges you, by the kilowatt. A kilowatt of electricity is 1,000 watts on for a continuous hour's use is 1 kilowatt. So if you had a 100 watt light bulb, you could run it for 10 consecutive hours and it would use 1 kilowatt. So that's how billing goes. So again, we know this uses 16, between 16 and 17 watts. So here's how we're going to do it. I rounded it up to 17 watts. Let's just say it fluctuates a little bit. I'd rather overestimate than under. How you figure your watts to kilowatts is take your wattage, divide it by 1,000, and that'll equal how many kilowatts the unit you're measuring, in this case the Hunter air purifier, is using. So it's using 0.017 kilowatts per hour to run. So again, you take the wattage divided by 1,000, that'll get your kilowatt rate per hour. So take that number that we came up with, the 0.017, we have to times it by how many hours we're running it a month. Again, I'm running it 24/7 all month long. There are 720 hours in a 30-day period. So to run this unit for 728 hours, I'm using 12.24 kilowatts, which is going to cost me, because we figured it out already off the bill, 12.24 kilowatts times my 12 cents rate. There's the total that I'm paying monthly to run my Hunter air purifier. So you see, things with low wattage don't cost that much, even if you run them all the time. $1.47, so about $1.50 a month or less to run my air purifier. So I didn't have an answer to that till today. I actually just figured this up today, so I'm kind of happy, because I think it was probably using $3 or $4 a month, but it's really not. It's only using $1.47 on average a month. You could do this with about any item in your home. Try to pick an item. If you get a kilowatt meter that you run 24/7 like me, you're going to use this number. 720 hours is what's in a 30-day period. And you might be surprised, some things are going to be pretty high. Now, if you run like a radio or something like that, because I know I even have friends that run radios all the time, it's going to be very low. It's going to even be lower than this, because radios don't use very much. But if you're running a electric heater, like I do all winter long, my heater's on right there, it's pretty costly. That's where most of my electric use comes from, is my heating in the winter. But it's a good tool to have, because you can figure out cost on exactly how much it costs to use something in your house. If you figure out how many watts it's using, convert that into kilowatts, find out how much you're paying per kilowatt, and it'll give you a very close estimate on how much you're paying to run a particular item in your home. So I hope that's helpful to you. Again, the kilowatt meters can be purchased. I would suggest you get it off of eBay or Amazon. They have great prices on them. You should not pay more than $15, 10 to 15 in that range. And usually those have free shipping, so that's all you'd pay, maybe sales tax, and you'd have one for your home that you could use. So hopefully this is helpful. This is MiamiCOIndiana. I do want to encourage you too, if you found any use out of this video, please do give it a like. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I do invite you to subscribe. Hope you have a great day. So long.